how well does it work? The jury is still out there. We don't know that, but it seems that it's an excellent drug. And the next idea or the concept that I'm about to speak to you about is revolves around two separate terms: tolerated and safety margin. So tolerated and safety margin. Basically, when a drug is well tolerated, it means that you can make some mistakes taking the drug, and still you're okay. And a similar concept is applied to safety margin. As far as the dosage of certain drugs are concerned, you take too much, is that going to kill you? I mean, would you have some severe side effects if you took some drug? I mean, there are certain drugs out there. You just have to make sure you get the right amount and that you do not overdo it. Right? That's the safety margin. Fenben, as well as all these anti-thelmintic drugs, anti-parasitic drugs, seem to have a very wide safety margin. That means you can take quite a bit more, maybe by mistake or by design, and still be okay. You don't have to worry about the severeness or severity of the side effects. The side effects tends to be not permanent, and that it's okay. So when the drugs are well tolerated in human beings or yeah, I guess in human beings or other animals that have been tested, it's good. Just so that I'm clear, I don't know about testing on human beings as to whether it is well tolerated or not for fenbendazole. But fenbendazole, the Fenben, is a family, a part of the family of benmidazole families, and benmidazoles do include albendazole. And albendazole is for human use. It has been approved by FDA for use in human beings. And I just ran out of battery on my camera, so I'll have to stop the camera for now and then come back to you in just a few seconds. Okay, hold on. I know it's pretty exciting now. Hi guys, I'm back. So today's video is going to be rather lengthy. Bear with me, or I hope the information that I'm providing you are beneficial to you. So it's tolerated. It's well tolerated for human use. Albendazole, it is approved, and if you go to, I believe, CDC, Center for Disease Control, or I don't know, I forgot the name of the website, but you can actually go to drugs.com. Drugs.com. Let me just make sure that it's drugs.com. And they will give you a lot of information. Yes, it is drugs.com. So go to drugs.com and type in albendazole, which is the cousin of fenbendazole because they're in the same family. And then it gives you the dosage that is allowed or approved by FDA. And you can read the descriptions. It's actually, I like the writings in drugs.com. It's it's an easy read compared to other websites, and it's more down to earth. And so it's easier for me. It was easier for me to read. You should perhaps also try drugs.com. WebMD is also good, but WebMD, I think, for me, was not providing as much information, as much detailed information as I wanted when it comes to albendazole and fenbendazole. Anyway, these benmidazole families are seems well tolerated, and also they have a wide safety margin. Again, wide safety margin is a very important concept because you have to have a wide. I gotta go. I'll be right back, guys. I Hi guys, I'm back. Today it's going to be a long episode, and also it turns out I have a lot of visitors popping in and out. So I apologize if I get interrupted again into the future or later today. But there are quite a bit of things that I wanted to talk to you today, and part of the reason why I'm making these long statements and talking to you at length is because over the weekend I've had a couple of calls. Cancer patients call me, and they had some questions for me, but obviously my knowledge is limited, and also my hands are tied because I can't make any recommendations to these people. As a non-medical person, I am not in a position to make any recommendations as far as taking of the drugs are concerned, but I can obviously tell you about what happened to me and the information that I have learned thus far without making any recommendations to you. So please, I'm not making any recommendation at all. I am not qualified, but I do want to share the things that I have learned, and I'm hoping it would help. And if this is the type of information that was given to me, say about a year ago, 1 year ago, I would have really, really appreciated it because I would be able to make the decisions for myself and on my own based on the knowledge and information that was given to me. And so let's go back. The tolerated portion and the safety margin. Yeah, go to drugs.com and just kind of read up on what they have to say. I think they give you very good information. They don't obviously tell you to take fenbendazole, but they do talk about albendazole. Again, benmidazole family have many people or many different drugs, which are all antithelmintic. These are anti-parasitic drugs, and they include fenbendazole, which is designed for dogs, as well as apparently for horses and fish. And then they include albendazole, which are prescribed for human use. And then there is also mebendazole, which is also for human use. So these benmidazole families are anti-parasitic drugs, and if you want to learn about albendazole, it gives you a lot of information as to the human use and also the safety margin. They call it a margin of safety in their on their website, and then also how you should take it. Based on, I guess, certain recommendations from, I believe it's either CDC or FDA for certain types of ailments. Anyway, by the way, I should tell you, I do remember reading that up to 800 milligram of albendazole seemed like a recommended dosage for certain types of ailments, not including cancer. But if it's good enough for people to take up to 800 milligrams, why not? And it's also that you have a better understanding and that you are not misled about the Fenben, how much is in a packet. So this one box, right? This is one box of Panacur-C, and it says at the top, package contents include a 4-gram package, and each packet treats 40 pounds. So let me actually go ahead and break open one of these again. So I'm just going to cut it at the top, and each box contains 3 of these, 3 packets, right? 3 packets. And I've told you many times that one packet contains 4 grams of Panacur-C, and Panacur-C contains Fenben. So Panacur-C has other fillers such as cornstarch, which make up a larger portion of Panacur-C of the powders, and then only 22% of this packet has fenbendazole. So this is called the active portion or the active ingredient. So one packet, I use it for four dosages or four, I guess, servings. Servings sounds a little bit funny, but I take it four times, and it's usually good enough for 1 week and one additional day for me because in any 1 week I only take it three times. So you can take it up to four times, but as far as the active portion of the Fenben is concerned, in one packet, it has 888 milligram. 880, 888 milligram. So in a 4 gram packet, you can get 888 milligram. And based on the information that I have told you already, if it's safe to take, or if you can, based on certain recommendations from the authorities, was either CDC or FDA, if you can take up to 800 milligrams per day, you can theoretically take a whole packet. You can take a whole packet, which contains 4 grams of Panacur-C, and still be within the accepted level of Fenben to be taken, or the albendazole is actually the recommendation that they have made. But I'm making the jump, making the connection, saying Fenben and alben are not all that different. And obviously, again, I have to keep on making these disclaimers because I don't want to get into any trouble. But I'm not a doctor, and I don't have a medical background. And what I tell you, just you can accept it as a bullshit if you want to, because I don't really have a medical background for making this statement. But I do think for people who are looking for information, and because nobody else is willing to step up to it and talk about it, I'm saying that if 800 milligram of albendazole is an accepted dosage for humans, and it's approved by the U.S. government, or at least one of the authorities within the U.S. government, why not? You can actually take a whole packet of this, and the chances are the side effects are not as severe. And that's because these benzimidazole family, the drugs in benzimidazole family are well tolerated, and they have a wide margin of safety, or safety margin. So that's what I'm saying. You can take more, but obviously, I'm not making any recommendation whether you should take more or not. Anecdotally, people have been telling me, and also based on the YouTube videos, people are taking about 500 milligrams of Fenbens, and they find it to be useful. I only take 222 milligram of Fenben, but there are a lot of other people taking 500 milligram. And my experiment consisted of only 3 days of taking Fenben out of a week each time. Some people seem to be taking it on a daily basis. They take it without cease, and I haven't really heard any major side effects to doing so. So some people are in a much hurry. I mean, maybe it's the desperation that's driving these people to take these drugs, to take more drugs, and I don't know. It's one of the questions later that I'm going to get to of the proper dosage. What is the proper dosage? We don't really know. That's because it has not been clinically tested. I mean, this is something that's really left to the medical community and also to the government to do so. Anyway, what do we know? One, it works. 2, it's well tolerated, and it has a wide safety margin. However, I want you to know there are side effects. There were side effects for me when I took it. And for me, the side effects had been the runny nose, headache, bloating. There was some fever and night sweats and gassing. A lot of these side effects, and I have also heard of other people vomiting. But notice that's these are not really life threatening. Of course, if you have other complications, it could be, but for average people, it's not that severe. It doesn't really kill you, and that's why I have to go back to the earlier idea of it being well tolerated, and that there's a wide safety margin. So, if it's well tolerated, the chances are the side effects are not going to be severe. I mean, it's not going to really hurt you that much. As far as the permanent damages, if you were to take the drug for long term, is that going to hurt you? And is that going to do some permanent damages? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows at this point, and that's because there just has not been a clinical study of a big enough of a scale to really look into it, because Fenben was originally designed for anti-parasitic purposes, and it was not designed for treatment of cancer. So, if anything, it would have to be relabeled and it would be repurposed later by the government or somebody who's making applications. Having said that, I after 8 weeks, after week 8, just about all the side effects for me have gone away. The runny nose part, in the beginning, it was kind of runny, and then the discharges had been milder. So it was more, I guess, translucent is the term. And you could see that the color was not as dark as before. But that was one of the side effects, having a runny nose and having to constantly clear up your nose. And then there were other side effects, which I have talked to you just a few minutes earlier. But they have all but gone. Headache, I still have it. It's gotten milder, but I still have the headache. It's not that severe. I mean, I haven't taken any drugs to help my headache of late. I mean, before I took a couple of Advils trying to make the headache go away, but it's all gone. By the way, if you have bloating and gassing problems due to fenbendazole, I have seen other YouTubers take baking soda. Take a spoon of baking soda, mix it with water, a glass of water, drink it up, and apparently that helps. So if you have some problem taking Fenben, baking soda might be a help. And one of the viewers had commented that he has taken baking soda to help himself. I think it was maybe Sadayan. Sadayan talked about baking soda helping him. And what we also know, before, and I apologize, guys, if this is getting to be a long video, but I hope you find it useful. And before, my biggest concern had been liver, having a bad liver, that there would be a damage to it because of certain toxicity of any drug, I guess, including fenbendazole. But my numbers for my liver is over here, I learned. AST and ALT actually improved. My AST number actually improved from being outside of the normal range into the normal range after having taken Fenben, along with LiverCare, or otherwise known as Live52. Thank you, Sadayan, for that. And so my liver actually is doing good. It's doing better now. My ALT number had actually went up a little bit. I believe from 7.6 to 7.7. So it's a little bit slightly off, but I'm not too concerned about that. And bilirubin, my urine analysis indicated that I might have some problems, but my blood testing came back returning me a normal result. So I don't have any concerns anymore as to the side effects of the drug. So after 8 weeks of having taken it, 222 milligrams, 3 days on, 4 days off, I'm doing much better. No side effects other than headache. And then what we know also is that it's better with oil. So if you're gonna take Fenben, it's better to take it with oil. In fact, you have to take it with oil to make sure that it travels into your bloodstream. So, part of the problem with taking Fenben with water only is that it stays in your gut only. The gut includes your mouth and then the anus. So everything that is in between is gut, right? And then you have to go down, and then I don't know these medical terms. Anyway, your body, and then you end up you're in the intestine area, and then the digestive acid comes out, and then your liver produces bile and all those things. And because Fenben is designed for anti-parasitic purposes. Parasites, in the old days, they understood them to be those suckers that are visible to your naked eyes, and they wanted to deworm you, right? And Fenben was designed for deworming of animals, and then albendazole, Alben, was for deworming of human beings. So they actually did not have to go into the bloodstreams. So it wasn't important as long as they stayed in your gut area and then killed off all the parasites in your gut. So as far as what they were designed to do, water was fine. You could have taken it with water, and that means you could just take it with the food also, and then it cleans out whatever is in your gut area. So from your mouth to your anus, it cleans out, and the parasites are gone. And then whatever's left, as far as the Fenben or Alben is concerned, it goes out in as a urine. But if you want to address the microparasites, protozoa, you do have to make sure that your Fenben goes into your bloodstream. And then that's where all these microparasites are that you're trying to kill off. And in order to protect the Fenben from getting sent out as a urine, you do have to take Fenben with oil to make sure that they survive the acid, digestive acids, and also bile produced by your liver. And then that way they get protected long enough for them to travel into your bloodstream. And then once they go into your bloodstream, then they do a better job. I guess the term that is used is enzyme. So I don't actually know how it works. But supposedly Fenben turns into enzymes, or they get converted into enzymes, which will do their job. Anyway, so we know that it's better with oil. And then the fifth factor is that there's no drug resistance. And so drug resistance is an important concept, right? I mean, you know all this already if you have been through chemotherapies or been treated for your cancer through other means. For cancer treatment, initially, drugs work wonderful. The cancer drugs that they provide you, especially chemotherapy drugs, they kill off and they eliminate a lot of the cancer cells. But the problem is these chemotherapy drugs and apparently other drugs I don't know how to name, how to pronounce. Anyway, there's a drug resistance that builds up. And when you have a drug resistance, the same drug that worked yesterday is not going to be as effective today because there's a resistance that's built up. The term that they use medically is a PGP substrate. I have absolutely no idea what that term means, but when people talk about drug resistance, they talk about PGP substrate, things like that. Anyway, the idea is that if there's a drug resistance that builds up in your body, the drug that was effective yesterday is not going to be as effective today. And that is why I understand a lot of the chemo drugs fail, because initially you see some good results, usually in the first 6 months of your treatment. And then after that, you don't see the same results anymore. And then tumor starts growing, and then they start metastasizing. And it's tragedy when that happens. But because of the drug resistance, whatever was effective before is probably no longer effective. As far as the traditional medications are concerned, with fenbendazole, there is no drug resistance. This is a very important statement, and it's don't take it from me. It's from the study. This study so by doctors Dogra, Ashok, Kumar, Tapas, Mukhopadhyay. I hope I pronounced it right. Or maybe Sadayan or I guess Surya could tell me if I'm doing good with these names. But I love these people. These are wonderful human beings. They've done a great service. So they opened a great door for other researchers to further research into it, and also probably was providing some pressure to the governments to look into it, because this is a natural.com is a very reputable website, and then the study I understand was done well, or it was a good study. I don't know how else to describe it. And when they come out and say that it works against cancer cells, and also somewhere in here they talk about the resistance, drug resistance. It says FC, meaning fenbendazole. FC is not a P-GP substrate or inhibitor. So FG is not a PGP substrate or inhibitor. Basically, I had to read it over and over to get an understanding of what this means. Basically, it means it does not have drug resistance. So if it was effective yesterday, today it's going to be just as effective, and it's going to be just as effective tomorrow. And this is a very important concept for people who are being treated for, I guess, cancer, because you want to have a drug that is going to work for you throughout. And if you take it for a long term, and if your body's going to build up some type of resistance to these drugs, the effectiveness diminishes at a certain point as time wears on. But if there's no drug resistance, if your body does not build a new resistance to the drug you're taking, it's wonderful. If you find that it was effective last month, it's going to be effective this month, and going forward, it's going to continue to be effective. And this is a very important concept. I don't know why people do not talk about it, but then again, it's a concept that is immensely complicated for lay people. For medical professions, I'm sure these are things that you discuss on daily basis, and these are the terms that comes to you very easily. But for non-medical people like myself, for lay people, it's hard to wrap our heads around it. It takes a while for us to really understand what it means. Anyway, let me just go back and reiterate the 5 things that we know now. We know this is known. 1, it works, right? It works. And how does it work? It's either by killing off the microparasites or inhibiting the microtubules. Microtubules, I really don't understand what those are, what it is, but that's what it says on the paper, microtubules, actually. So fenbendazole acts as a moderate microtubule destabilizing agent. That's what it says. Actually, I'll just kind of bring it a little bit closer to the camera, see if you can see the caption. or the title of the report. And so it works. That's one we know. Two, we know it's well tolerated and it has a wide safety margin. And that means you can make mistakes with it. You can make mistake with the dosage or the frequency and still be okay. It's not going to have a long-lasting, severe effect on your health. It didn't anyway for me, on my health. And I didn't care if I took exactly 1 gram, a little less, a little more of Panacur-C. Three, it has side effects, but they don't seem to be severe. So we have not heard, not a single case where people have taken Fenben and died. I mean, what's more severe than dying, right? So the tragedy never happened. I mean, for people who were taking other drugs and for other disease, it's the disease that killed them, and maybe. But we haven't really heard of anybody dying from Fenben or complication from taking Fenben with other drugs. I haven't. Maybe you did. If you did, maybe you can leave a comment and then share that with us so we could be more careful in taking or experimenting with the drug. But nothing severe. I mean, I haven't really heard of anybody being damaged permanently by Fenben, and my having taken it for 9 weeks or so far. Hey, so far so good. And it's better with oil. That you should take it with water, with oil and not water, and it has no drug resistance. So since this is an important concept, let me just go ahead and reiterate the 5 points without any commentaries to it. So what do we know about Fenben? 1, it works. 2, it's well tolerated with wide safety margin. 3, it has side effects, but not a very severe side effect. And 4, that it's better with oil. 5, there's no drug resistance to Fenben. So those are the things that we know. And what are the things that we do not know? I'm really struggling with this portion of the video because now this is getting to be a much longer video than I intended. But maybe I should just talk about it now so that it would be helpful for some of you. And I hate making long videos, but if it's going to help just one of you, hey, I think I should do it, right? I mean, it's going to help. If it's going to help at least one of you, I should do it. And I do think, actually, it's going to be very beneficial to a lot of the people. So these are the questions that I have on my mind. And maybe you can also provide an input. Maybe you can leave a comment as to what your thoughts are for these questions. 1, we do not know the proper dosage. What is the proper amount to be taken to be most effective? Well, we know it is effective, but how much of it is the most effective, right? But the good thing is Fenbendazole is cheap, right? I mean, you don't have to pay a whole lot of money. A box of it. This one with 3 packets cost me $18. I forget the name of the website, the entirelypets.com or something like that, or entirelypetspharmacy.com. I believe that was the latest that I have ordered from. You can go to chewy.com. It's cheaper. Amazon.com, I actually ended up paying more for a while because I didn't know better. But you can pay a lot less. So $18, it's cheap. So proper dosage when you do not know, and if the severe effect is not all that permanent, or if there's no severe side effect, I don't know. Maybe taking more is okay. Except I was a little scared, and I only took 222 milligrams each time. But perhaps you can take a little more if you are in a hurry. And I have heard of somebody taking up to 1,000 milligram per day, every day, without cease. Maybe she was in a hurry. just to make sure that they get the dosage. 222 was okay for me, and it brought me a lot of good things. Hi guys, my video just now actually cut itself off because I was talking too long. I don't know how I'm going to edit all this, but I'm going to get the information out to you in as much of information as I can today, and I hope it proves to be useful in your making a choice, because I don't make the recommendation that you take it, and I'm not qualified to do so. I can't make that recommendation, and there's no doctor that's going to make that recommendation to you. So nobody is going to recommend that you take Fenben, especially if you are fighting cancer. I mean, that's scary. I mean, cancer is life-threatening, and you think there's a possibility that Fenben is going to help you, but nobody says go ahead and do it. I mean, the other day, this person called me and asked me, James, should I do it? And I said, I don't know. I can't make that recommendation to you. I mean, this other gentleman left a telephone number on the one of the comments and asked me to call him. I did call him, but I couldn't make the recommendation. I had to tell him that it's your choice, it's your call, and that's how it is. So, because nobody's going to be able to make that recommendation to you, no medical doctor nor any lay person, you have to make a choice for yourself. And the information that I am providing you is for you, or I guess inform the decision if you were to make the choice to take the Fenben or not. Anyway, the proper dosage is not known. Mr. Tippins had taken, I believe, 222 milligram, but on his website, I understand now that he's recommending not 3 days on, 4 days off, but just taking it straight. That I actually don't really know too much about his website, or that portion of his website. Anyway, I've been to his website many times, but this was a comment by one of the viewers that now Mr. Tippins' website says you should take it 7 days without C's. So nobody really knows what the proper dosage is. How much you should take each time. Up to 1,000. Somebody's doing it. Up to 800 milligram. It's approved for albendazole by a U.S. authority. For me, I'm only doing 222. How often do you take it? That's the second question that we do not know. We don't know. I mean, should you take it throughout the week, and should you take it in the morning and in the afternoon, or is it better before you take a meal or after? Anecdotally, it seems like you should do it before you eat, before a meal. And it sounds like if you are taking large quantities, for example, 800 milligram, you should break it into 2 sessions per day. So you should take 400 in the morning and then 400 milligram in the afternoon, and preferably with the oil and before a meal. And the part of the reason why you take certain drugs with a meal is to protect your gut, and also I actually read about that, and I was gonna sound so smart telling you why you have to take it with the food, but I forgot. Anyway, a lot of drugs, you have to, it's been recommended that you take it with a drug, take it with meal, but Fenben, it does seem like it would be more effective without taking it with a meal, but obviously I don't know enough to say anything definite on that. It's just that we do not know how often you should take it. And also, how long do you take it? I mean, it's another question that's not answered by anybody. I guess Mr. Tippins took it 3 months. There have been other people who are taking it for a shorter period. I have seen YouTubers talk about how they took it 1 month and then the tumor was gone. So, once the tumors are gone, do you still need to take it, right? So you have to constantly check your progress. Take some CT scans, or is it CT scans to see how you are doing. But how long do you take it? We don't actually know. 3 months is what a lot of people are doing, but is that the proper length as far as the time is concerned? Or do you have to constantly scan yourself to see if the size of the tumor has been shrinking and then at some point gone? And is that when you stop taking it? We don't know yet because there's not enough studies on that. So we do not know how long you should take it. And then the fourth portion, do you take it with other treatment? I mean, do you want to do it with chemo or radiation, maybe immunotherapy? And then do the Fenben together with that. Mr. Tippins did it with the immunotherapy, and he reports very good, wonderful result. Should you? Nobody really has an answer for that because there just has not been enough studies on it. Anecdotally, it seems you can just do the Fenben without any other treatment. I mean, I have seen people who have been treated in the traditional way, chemos and radiation. They were unhappy with it, and so they go to Fenben, and it seems like Fenben was effective. And then I have also heard of people taking Fenben first before having these other treatments. The jury is still out there. We don't know if it would work, would not work. So those are the things that we do not know. What we do not know is, one, the proper dosage. Two, how often to take it. Three, how long to take it. Four, should you take it with other treatment? Do you take it with other treatment? And there is a philosophical question, as well as I guess a medical question, which I cannot answer. But it's something that you have to ask yourself: is if I'm going to use Fenben, do I take Fenben as the first option or as the last resort? So when I say first option means, before I go through any other treatment, such as, for example, chemo, radiation, or maybe immunotherapy, before you take these other treatments, do you want to go ahead and try Fenben first? I mean, just try the Fenben out, see if it works. And if it doesn't, you do the traditional method. Or do you do the traditional method first? You do all these other things first, and if all fails, then should you do the Fenben as a last resort? I don't actually know, and I've seen people do it either way. And then, of course, as I've talked to you just a few minutes ago, there are people who are paralleling or doing it together. So they take the traditional treatment and then they parallel it at the same time. Also take the Fenben. And so I guess that's a third option that you could also think about as the first option, last resort, and then just do it together, parallel or simultaneous, concurrent. That's it. Yes, concurrent usage of the drugs. So you could take it as a concurrent usage. This has been a very long episode, and but I thought it was worth it, important enough. So let me just go back and give you a rundown of what I have spoken about. And also, I'm going to actually provide the list at the description section of my today's episode. I don't think I've taken Live 52 today, so let me go ahead and take it. This is to protect my liver. They say you should take two per day, but I only take one. Saves me money, right? Also, if my liver is doing good, why not save some money? Also, I have a hard time swallowing pills, and also remembering to take my pills. Like, if I have to take twice, a morning and a night, it's next to impossible for me because I cannot remember to do so. Having said that, where's the drum roll? I'm supposed to have some kind of a drum roll before I go down this list. Fenbendazole, what do we know? 1, it works. 2, it's well tolerated with wide safety margin. 3, it has side effects, but they do not seem severe. 4, it's better to take it with oil. And 5, no drug resistance. So those are the 5 things that we know about Fenben. The things that we do not know about Fenben, I have 4 things. 1, proper dosage. 2, how often do you take it? 3, how long do you take it? And 4, do you take it with other treatments? Will it be more effective? And then the third portion, the philosophical question, or I guess a medical question as well. Should it be your first option, or is it the last resort? So those are the things that we need to ask ourselves. And also, guys, I'm not a cancer patient, but some of you might be. And maybe you have other thoughts. And, when you're looking at cancer, I'm sure it's very scary. And also, it's very disconcerting. I've seen the fear in my mother's eyes as she was nearing her death. So, cancer is in a way a death sentence, right? You're looking at a tragedy that's going to happen to you sometime soon. If it's terminal, if you're in stage 4 or terminal stage. So you are obviously very, very concerned, and you want to make a very good decision. And I want you to make a good decision for yourself. And as far as this guy, James, is concerned, not a doctor, have no medical background. And so the information that I provide to you are not scientific. And most of this information are anecdotal. And the things that I have read. And obviously, I am very much motivated by what I have seen my mom go through as far as her treatment was concerned, and the eventual demise, her death. It was very shocking to me to see my mom die. I was right there, and she passed away in front of, right before my eyes. I saw her. I was there, and I was there for actually the last 1 week of her life. I was by her bedside, and then for the final 72 hours, I was just, except for the time when I had to go to the restroom, I was just sitting next to her, and a lot of things went through my mind, and now I'm thinking back, it's a little hard, but I want you to know that if I had known about this Fenben, and if I had known this to have been a possible cure for cancer, I would have looked at her treatment options a little differently. I would have thought about it a little more and probably tried a few other things. I say that because I know a lot of you are watching my video, and although I do have a beautiful face, I don't think you're just looking for a beautiful face for entertainment. I think you are really looking for and struggling and grappling for information. And you know, like I said, when it comes to medical and scientific background, I'm nobody. I have no idea these things, but nobody else is speaking on it. I mean, why can't we have a doctor come out and do a simple video just like mine and say, what he thinks about Fenben? But most of these doctors, they don't want to do that, and I'm sure they have their good reasons. But I hope you guys do well. I really do. And I hope we find a cure for cancer. But for now, I'm going to cut this video off. This has gone too long. I love you guys. I love every one of you. I hope you do well. I hope you beat this sucker cancer and you get better. And if you have things you want to share with me as well as with other people who might be in a similar situation as yours, please feel free to leave your comments. I think, well, for me, I read all of your comments, and I'm pretty sure many of the other people looking for answer are reading your comments. So, yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about it a little bit, and then maybe it will be a comfort, and maybe it would provide some type of a solution to other people who are looking for an answer. And it would be wonderful if you can tell me that you have been cured of a certain disease, and that would be a great news to many of the people who would be watching my video and reading your comments. Like I said before, I'm going to leave my video on for years to come, so your comments will be read by a lot of people. Take care.